Finally, at long last, it's time to awaken the best nightmare ever devised. Saying those words made me tear up. Hello everyone, GBA049 here, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Metroid Prime Marathon. I don't even need to start this over. You already know what it's time for. It's time for the 28th episode of the Metroid Prime Marathon series, featuring the first episode of the one and only Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. The masterful realm of impossible innovation and illustration incarnate. I really have absolutely no idea where to begin on how much this game really means to me, personally. Okay, this is obviously an exaggeration. I wrote countless books already before. I've wrote countless books, and by books I mean like blogs already about it before in the Metroid Amino and whatnot. But if I can just just try to explain everything of what Metroid Prime 2 Echoes really means to me once again. It's going to be a gradual process, but you just need to understand right now, for anyone has absolutely no idea who the hell I even am on this channel, because hey, you never know, some person might come on here just to see Metroid Prime 2 Echoes or something like that. Listen to this. Metroid Prime 2 Echoes is my favorite game of all time, and I've played a couple of other games in the past, but so far this is an unbeatable contestant. Like, this game will never ever be surpassed for as long as I live. For how much it does, okay, for the amount of for the amount of innovative content, the pure genius factor behind all of the all the assets between the light and dark related aesthetic, it is downright masterful, and how much incredulous detail is implemented behind all these factors with between the light world and the dark world, along with having by far the most outstanding Metroid plot in the series. And I'm being powerfully subjective about this, but it's definitely in the top 3. If I had to rank this right now, Metroid Prime 2 Echoes is the best story in the Metroid series, right next to Metroid Dread and Metroid Prime Hunters. That is how fantastic this story is, and we're definitely going to get into that. But seriously, oh my god. Break open the shackles. It's finally time to awaken the best nightmare ever devised. Saying those words just really made me tear up. Hello everyone, GBA049 here, and welcome back to another episode of the Metroid Prime Marathon series, episode number 28, featuring the one and only Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. The masterful realm of impossible innovation and illustration. Emphasis on impossible, because I will definitely get into the reasons behind that very shortly. But let me just leave it with a let me just leave this with this one paragraph right here. Scream it through the I wrote this down in case you didn't know already. Scream it through the exosphere. Let the voice unearth the innocent from their graves. Usher a brand new age of undeserved prosperity with evil suffering in the dark womb they spawned from. This game right here is my favorite game of all time, and I will gladly delve into the reasons why, because it's basically in the length of the book on how much this game really means to me personally. for how much, like, it basically, like, dragged me out from the darkness and put me into a much needed source of light when I was back in my, very, very silencing and tragic time of isolation, and like, in my early teen years, because I wouldn't exactly say that that my life was anything tragic, but it was something that was worthy of unpleasant affliction, to put it that way, because well, when you have like a struggling marriage between like my mom and struggling marriage between my mom and my dad, constantly arguing, and my father was definitely like the one to blame for all this stuff that was going on. It definitely took a toll on me, and I really need to like find something to like relieve me from all this stress and just make me feel entertained. And this game really did help me out with that. It really did, like, just put me into an adventure unlike anything I've ever experienced before in my entire life. And ever since that day, I have always kept this game close to my heart. And everything about this game is just absolutely fucking fantastic in every way, shape, and form. I'm not even exaggerating with this. I'm trying my absolute best not to sound biased to classify Metroid Prime 2 Echoes as a legendary masterpiece to my eyes, as well as like some other people who also clarify it the same way, because this game is an underrated gem in the Metroid series and in video games as a whole. But I'm going just like way off into this tangent right now. But holy fucking shit, it is absolutely insane. Emphasis on impossible innovation, because I only have one question about this game's development. How in the fuck is it actually possible to like put in so much, ingenuity, so much ingenuity behind the light and dark, layers, aesthetic, and ideas and content to create the most mind-blowing story I've ever seen in the Metroid series in such a ridiculously strict amount of time. Like, get this. Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, when it was 30% complete in the development, they had 3 whole fucking months to do the rest of it. And they managed to create the most mind-blowing story, elements, and atmospheric genius that the series has ever known. And in my opinion, nothing else will top this. Not Metroid Dread, and I highly doubt not even Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Because this is beyond perfection to my eyes. But to let go of all that bias that I have for this game, it's not... Okay, it's a masterpiece to my eyes as far as like, just helping me, like, just get me out of this dark room that I was in back then. But as far as game design is concerned, it is extremely fucking close to being a masterpiece. Masterpiece for what it did to me, and for everything that it does to achieve the light and dark aesthetic spectacularly well, that no other game can like reach close to it. Well, not exactly close, but Hollow Knight is definitely a worthy contender to that notion, guaranteed, without a shadow of a doubt. But there's one tiny little oversight that really bothers me, but I will definitely get into that by the time we reach the halfway point in the game. But I'm saying way too much. Let's finally begin this game. So for starters, on like what makes this game so freaking legendary to me is the detail. Every piece. For one, the user interface is vastly different. It's on a gyroscopic user interface. of when you just hold up, left, right, any direction until you have the option just pop up on the front of the screen. Seeing this for the very first time blew my mind. I was like, wait a second, what kind of game am I playing? And this was my introduction, this was my very first introduction to the Metroid series, like, wait, hold on a second. Science fiction, technologically advanced, and what in the hell am I'm about to get myself into? Well, we're going to witness greatness eclipsed. So to make this easier, I'm just gonna go erase this. Actually, I'm not gonna go erase the basic file. I'm gonna go erase the one that I was close to getting 100% on. Oh, how tragic it must be to be so close yet so far to get a 100% completion on this game. But it was not meant to be. All right, so say goodbye to memory file number 3, and we will start anew. I am not going on hard mode. We're going to do this on a normal difficulty setting. But even then, even on normal mode, this game is very difficult, especially when you first start off with the series. And yeah, that was definitely me. I died several times in this game, but eventually I adapted, and this game is just very easy. Anyway, 8 days ago, contact with Galactic Federation Trooper Squad Bravo was lost. Contract agreement. Locate Federation troopers and render assistance. Data confirmation. Last transmission received from a rogue planet located in the Dasha region called Aether. Uploading last known coordinates now. And this is just a glimpse of what Samus's gunship looks like on the inside. It's just a screen of her just looking for a location to land on the planet. I reiterate, how the actual fuck was it possible for Retro Studios to finish like the other 70% of the game in 3 months? Perhaps the competition with Halo 2 and Grand Theft Auto San Andreas really got to them. It's like, okay, we really need to hurry up, but at the same time, we need to focus on creating geniuses. We need to focus on creating geniuses unlike anything you've ever seen. I'm trying so hard not to open up like a pack of gushers for how passionate I am about this game, but seriously, the detail is right over here. So right off the bat, when we when we enter planet Aether, we notice that this place is extremely unstable. And it looks like that we got struck by lightning, but it was just a result of the the dimensional influx that was corroding the surface of the planet. But we'll get to the details later. Presentation, here we go. Presentation unleashed. And just like in Metroid Prime, we always start off with a gorgeous somersault. And the adventure begins. Return to your ship to save your game and recharge your energy. Oh, first let's just go scan everything around here because now everything is in color. Blue representing objects, red indicating movable objects and bioforms, and green indicating things that you've already scanned. So let's just get this out of the way. Starship, Hunter class gunship, vessel registered to Samus Aran. Your ship has been damaged. Auto repair function initiated. You can return to your ship to recharge energy, reload weapons, and save progress in the game. And you no longer have to hold L to read everything. To read every piece of dialogue in the with your scan visor, because the rest of it is in the logbook. Your Hunter class gunship is one of a kind. Its distinct hull lines marking it to friend and foe alike. Custom built for you by the Federated shipyards at Alias 3. That's interesting. It contains a mobile energy recharge system, and microfactories designed to produce ammunition. A sophisticated onboard computer stores mission data collected in the field for future reference. We can take a look at the scale model of the gunship, and to think that this gunship has been used in several other Metroid games ever since Prime debuted. Well, of course, Metroid Prime 3 Corruption is continuing on with that, but this was featured in Metroid 2, in Metroid Samus Returns, and Metroid Other M, Super Smash Bros. Brawl, the works. It's an extremely iconic gunship, and this is the one that people are mostly familiar with, and it doesn't take much to understand why. It's very sleek and very recognizable. First object over here is object scan complete. Statue houses a power grid, motivator unit, and an energy projection array. All systems are offline due to age or structural damage. Excuse me. So right off the bat, when we arrive to planet Aether, we are unwelcomed by its presence because everything is ridiculously empty and there doesn't appear to be any signs of life anywhere. It really gives you that horror vibe going on. Because that's exactly what I felt the very first time I played this. Like, this is extremely disturbing. What is this? And the further I got, the creepier the creepier it became. It was definitely a test of bravery and endurance. One that I'll never forget. Object scan complete. Statue's motivator unit is functional, but requires power to operate. The power beam can't energize the statue. Seek an alternate energy source. Object scan complete. Object contains large quantity of acidic fluid. Fluids may be used by indigenous bioforms for digestive purposes. Shell is vulnerable to weapon fire. Our first target. Scan complete. This is a powered door system. Low-level energy shield on door to prevent activation by local creatures. Weapon fire of any type will disrupt the shield and open the door. And it's also designed to instantly kill Metroids for whatever reason, because it's basically a design flaw. Design flaw for whatever reason. I really like of how wavy the doors in Metroid Prime 2 Echoes are. And the design makes it look like that you're just entering inside some sort of, I don't know, portal. Especially the way it opens up and closes. I really love the animation of these doors a lot. How about it just like re-energizes with light when it closes. It's just so damn cool to look at. It will forever irritate me that these sentient plant-like bioforms that are clearly alive cannot be scanned. It's just there to give you the creepy immersion of how alien this planet really is. Bioscan complete. Durable plant form adapted to low light environment. Presence of a plant container suggests that it was placed here for decoration, possibly by local sentients. We'll use it as a local track marker of some sorts by the Luminoth. Oh, I'm sorry, aliens, because we haven't met them yet. Unable to interface with door control system. Cannot translate alien text. To access door controls, you will need to update your translator files. So right off the bat, when it came to the presentation of Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, you were given a choice of no other. On one hand, you see a locked door that is operated by some sort of machinery and also a translator device of some sort, and you can't access it. So your other choice is a very misty and downright ominous path that it's luring you to. Like, this game's presentation for, just going down to a more darker path. It's something that I really cannot get over when it comes to the sheer buildup of this game. Makes it even better when you give it a freaking cutscene. And so the magic begins. We're here to investigate a missing Galactic Federation squad that has lost communication with headquarters, and we are alone. No one's here. No signs of life anywhere. And the vibes are just incredibly dark and disturbing and just really puts you on high alert the entire time. Ambience just emphasizes that incredibly well, and the detail behind the ambience in Metroid Prime 2 Echoes just gets even better. Just gets even better and just shoots through the freaking exosphere the further we get into the game. And it's just irreplaceable. Once again, I'm trying so hard not to gush. It's my favorite game. I can't help it. I really cannot help it. I'm trying not to sound biased either, but it's difficult. This is the most difficult thing I've ever done. Terminated bioform scan complete. Codex genome match splinter. Source of termination. Inhalation of industrial-grade pesticide. Toxic elements still present in local atmosphere. Maintain suit lockdown for effective life support. Object scan complete. Device is part of a ventilation system. Converted to dispense pesticide. System is still active. Pesticide supply at 13% and dropping. That really goes to show on how desperate the Galactic Federation squad was to get rid of all these carrion feeders and whatnot that were threatening them threatening them with their works. They were just pouring out all the supplies of pesticides to kill all of these creatures. And there's a lot of them because this is the Splinter Hive. Not very wise of them to conduct research and conduct research and data on how to escape this planet, but they didn't really have any other way because this place is beyond repair. Object scan complete. This is a heavy Galactic Federation crate. These storage units are durable. Only heavy weapons and explosives can damage them. And this is a Galactic Federation crate. These storage units are known for their complex lock systems. Destroy them to discover their contents. Object scan complete. Object is composed of nutrient-grade biomatter, protected by thick exobarrier and tensile webbing. Possible source of nourishment for local bioforms. Willing to bet that a poor Galactic Federation Marine was, taken victim by one of the splinters in this place. It's only plausible. Scannable objects illuminate when viewed in the scan visor. And boy, does it shine. I like it a lot. Object scan complete. Armor plating engaged. Lock unit cannot be damaged while armor is active. Second piece of research. Galactic Federation Gate Mark 6, I'm pretty sure. Mark 6 gate armored defense system. This gate is used with armored security locks. The locks must be neutralized for the gate to operate. The gate is durable, resistant to all but the most potent explosives. Used with armored security locks, which must be neutralized to operate the gate. Gate is resistant to all but the most potent explosives. And that's all it gives you. I mean, what else would it give you? A tutorial on how to open it? It's already here. Lock armor disengaged. Destroy locks to activate the gate. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Gate will remain open once activated. Second target. Object scan complete. This is an armored security lock. Lock armor disengaged. Unable to bypass lock security system. Destroy lock to advance. It really cannot be a Metroid game or a Metroid Let's Play without scanning everything, because I'm all about the information, I'm all about the data. If you don't like that, but what is wrong with you? Terminated bioform scan complete. Codex genome match splinter. Bioscan indicates creature was hit by an unusual amount of weapon fire, more than necessary to kill it. Marines are not prone to such overkill. Well, since you're in a hive, it would make sense of why they were prone to such overkill, because it was a survival instinct. They're desperate. They were fearing for their damn lives. They don't know what they're dealing with. Restored. Don't really need to read the detail behind that. I'm just going to complete. This is a converted cargo pod gate. This gate was once part of a starship cargo bay. It has been modified for security purposes. It will move when a nearby panel is scanned. And the presence of a Galactic Federation identity is within our sights, but there's nothing here. So what happened to them? Well, they just suffered a fate worse than death. Ventilation system conversion complete. Dispensing of pesticide has commenced. Pesticide is proving effective. Hostile forces decreasing in number, though still at critical levels. And here comes the secondary story secondary story behind the Squad Bravo. Piece by piece, you learn more about it. Security gate report. All gates remain intact. Several gates have taken considerable damage from hostile forces. Repeated assaults may lead to a gate breach in chambers A and C. This is when they're dealing with the pests and the splinters and the hives, trying to get rid of them. Communication system offline. Analysis indicates wiring damage in 3 crucial areas. Local hostiles are likely source of damage. Unable to repair system. And yet it's making digital noises, so doesn't matter. Casualty report. Sector A. 3 troopers lost. They were unable to open gate A1 when a gas trap was engaged and could not escape to safety. Lock malfunction is to blame. And the map system. Map station. Not like I'm going to go use it, but I will examine the names of areas here. When you play a game so often that you don't even need a map to know where you don't even need a map to know where you're going. But it still is very nice to look at. It's got the same design. It's got the same exact design in Metroid Prime, but the quality of the map itself, it runs a lot more smoother. There's our landing site, hive, industrial site, temple assembly site, communication area, Galactic Federation Marine Corps compound. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. This is our destination right here. This is where we find... oh, wait, never mind. That's way farther in. Wait a second. Temple assembly site. Nah, exactly. No. This is the right location. But, yeah. Anyway. Let's continue on with this adventure. Looks like that one's already been shot down. So remember what I said about Metroid Prime 2 Echoes acting like a horror game? Well, when you open this door, you'll find out exactly why. Yep, that's exactly what happened to Galactic Federation Squad Bravo. They've been devoured. They have been victims of carrion feeders. Say hello to the worker splinter. Harmless, unless you touch it. Worker splinter drone of the splinter hive. Low threat target, generates webbing for use in its duties. And very transparent in appearance, oddly enough. I'm not quite sure why that is. It could be a possibility of phase-on exposure or something like that, but if that were the case, then they would be very hostile, but they're not. Still look really cool. Worker Splinter is bred for service, not combat. It spends its time collecting foodstuffs and raw material for the hive. A layer of mucus helps to protect the creature from the toxins and chemicals it often works with. They can generate a sturdy, pliable webbing, useful in travel throughout the hive. Yep, right off the bat, this story is... the plot of Metroid Prime 2 Echoes just does not throw any punches. This is some Resident Evil type of shit right here. And the very first time I saw this, I was legitimately creeped out. No amount of atmospheric, detail can comprehend to Metroid Prime 2 Echoes and how much it handles it so masterfully. Case in point with the build-up and the world building. In my honest opinion, my absolute favorite aspect about this game doesn't have to, isn't the atmosphere, it isn't the soundtrack or the gameplay or even the story. It's the freaking world building on how everything leads up to the story, which is the second best aspect without question. Third being the soundtrack. But I would have to say that the world building would also have to equate in relation to the atmosphere. Because Metroid Prime 2 Echoes is all about the atmosphere, and it does not hold back against anything when it comes to delivering the immersion to that. And I still can't get over on how good it is. Terminated bioform scan complete. I keep on mistaking it for complex instead of code. Complete and codex are right next to each other. Keeps on messing me up. Codex genome match. Standard human. Scans indicate this trooper died of cardiac arrest. Chemical levels in body suggest a state of extreme fear at time of death. So this poor trooper was literally scared to death. Terminated bioform scan complete. Codex genome match. Standard human. Source of fatal wounds. Galactic Federation assault weapon. Trooper was, in all likelihood, killed by friendly fire. Whether it was an accident or not remains to be seen. Or maybe it was possibly possessed. Most likely. Terminated bioform. I already saying that. Scans detect extremely high levels of an unknown toxin in target's body. Numerous micropunctures in armor and body trace elements of toxin around these areas. There's more of them up here. Terminated by... Okay. Cause of death difficult to determine. Digestive fluid present within armor. Subject is being broken down into simpler matter for consumption by local predators. Man, that's a very beautiful thing to read. Cause of death, excessive blunt trauma to numerous critical points. Bioscan results indicate that there were at least 30 individual attackers involved in this trooper's demise. It's very unclear on how these troopers were killed. It's more than likely that they were killed by standard like splinter creatures, because these are just the workers in the hive. They're just managing it and cleaning it up. Don't want to like kill these guys because they really mean no harm unless you harm them. But yeah, that's just a taste of what... That's just a taste on how unsafe Planet Aether is. And it used to be very prosperous at the time until disaster struck completely out of nowhere. And instantaneously. That's something I still can't believe. And so the lore with the Galactic Federation. Galactic Federation Marine Corps. Personal log entry GSGTC Bennett. There's something wrong with the lock systems in this section. They failed twice, locking us out until someone came along to let us in. If it happens again while we're playing bait for those things, well, at least we'll go out fighting instead of hiding in the control area. My guess is that the allure with the Galactic Federation, the Lord of the Galactic Federation, Squad Bravo, and Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, these are most likely their final words before they died. And Reeves. I don't like this plan. This hive is a small portion of a larger network. There may be dozens of hive systems like this across the planet, and they may all be linked. Destroying this one may buy us time, but it may also provoke the other hives into attacking. Press X to turn into Morph Ball. And you get used to it because Boost Ball has absolutely no use in the beginning of this game, but it's only there for you to play around with. It's like, hey, yeah, I played the original Metroid Prime. I know how it works. Do you though? Are you aware that you're going to lose your equipment yet again for the second time? Possibly, yeah. Right over here is a Grenchler corpse for whatever freaking reason. Unknown bioform, 0 life sign. Scans indicate target was recently terminated. By what? I refuse to believe that. 242 wounds from trooper high energy weapons detected. That might be the reason why that Galactic Federation trooper over there was died of cardiac arrest. They were just dragged into that, freaking nest to be consumed later on. Because he had absolutely no idea what sort of creature he was dealing with. And his friends just took care of it while he was just panicking to death. Seriously, what in the hell is a Grenchler doing all the way over here? It's usually in Torvus Bog, but it's in the the Galactic Federation, I guess you could say a research base, or like a safety base, thinking they were safe, but they're not. Somehow ended up all the way over here. Just a taste of what's to come. Okay, the very first time I saw this this Grenchler carcass, I thought for sure that its mouth led to a morph ball tunnel because it looked big enough to like for Samus's morph ball to fit inside. But no, it just placed it for decoration and for the fear factor because of how, you know, unstable this planet really is. And I think we actually get to see a living one later on. Enemy movement analysis complete. Attempts to block enemy access have been in vain. Enemy units have bypassed our gates and shields by burrowing through the earth nearby. Bioscan complete. Galactic Federation Trooper. 0 life signs. Trooper's armor computer heavily damaged. Unable to recover log entries. The shells of their former selves. And the buildup commences. Once again. Security breach. Multiple areas. All units to full alert. Command and control center compromised. Repel invading hostiles at all costs. All units cleared to engage. Oh my god, the suspense in the Splinter Hive is definitely one of Metroid Prime 2 Echo's many best highlights. I don't need to even go into full detail on why, because it just is. This panel is weakened from damage. Use a morph ball bomb on it to destroy it. No one in the right mind would be like, be able to like, you know, scan, you know, or notice that this little, thin gate is scannable. Because it looked like it's blocked off by the, blocked off by the terrain above the tunnel, but it's not. And it just gets even more disturbing the further you go into this place, because there's more of these troopers on the ground with 0 life signs, and they can't be scanned because you've already scanned them. There's several of these corpses. Lying around with the same scan entry, and you're just thinking, what's gonna happen here? I was really not expecting, you know, to be ambushed by these. Be ambushed here. Like the very last thing I expected. Terminated bioform scan complete. Codex genome match splinter. Source of termination. Blunt trauma to critical areas. Evidence suggests these bioforms were eliminated in close combat by unarmed troopers. Jeez. That's insane. They won, but at what cost? There's got to be very strong and burly Galactic Federation Marines I've ever heard of. Never seen them because they're... Well, you are seeing them because they're gone. Targets were terminated by a variety of trooper weapons. Unknown biochemical residue present on several exoskeletons. Further research recommended. Gonna need to scan this because if you activate all these bomb slots, then they're permanently missable. Bomb slot. Bomb slot, powered system control unit. Insert the morph ball into the slot and then detonate a bomb. This will transfer energy from the slot to the device connected to it. Tutorial. That's it. That's all it says. The very first time when I was playing Metroid Prime 2 Echoes and got to this part, it really made my heart race. To the point where I just felt like not playing anymore because of how creeped out I was. Like, power restored to the system, even though it felt like that the power wind down. And here we are greeted with a taste of the omnipotent threat that Planet Aether is suffering by. These Galactic Federation troopers have been zombified by an unknown presence. And the music makes it even more creepier. Say hello to the Dark Trooper, deceased Galactic Federation soldier. Bioscans indicate terminated life signs in this trooper and the presence of an unknown biomass. Bioscans indicate terminated life signs in this trooper in the present unbiased with parasitic tendencies. Though the trooper's armor has been compromised, the bulk of it remains intact. Weapon systems remain online as well. Full parasitic fusion is yet to be obtained, resulting in low agility and response time. You don't even recognize it as a Galactic Federation trooper anymore. You only see it as a lifeless, dead zombie. Like zombies in a Metroid game. Yeah, that sounds pretty generic until you. That sounds pretty generic until you like realize like this is the buildup in full effect. Like even though that like okay, regardless on how low. Regardless of how, like, non-threatening the Dark Troopers are in this game, the very presence and existence by themselves speaks so much volume on what sort of threat that you are going against. And it is dark. It is extremely dark. And I'm not saying that as generic either. It is horrifying on how threatening this presence really is. The very first time when you encounter these enemies, you hope to God you never see them again. You're like, the state of vulnerability that this game gives you is unlike anything the series has ever known. It is on par and rivaled with Metroid Fusion when it comes to the fear factor and the state of vulnerability. And it occurs throughout the entire game. Like there's barely any indication, like there's barely any, sources of feeling safe in Planet Aether. Nothing is safe. Life is in danger. You are in danger. And everything is just gone. It's just completely left in ruin. By what? We'll find out. Security panel online, gate control system restored. And I also need to put more detail in my first experience with the with my first experience with the Dark Troopers in this game. Every single time when I encountered them, I always ran away in panic because the very presence of them just outright terrified me to the point where I just like wanted to run away and not deal with them. I know they were weak, but they were just so damn disturbing. I just wanted to escape this place until I ended up wandering around in circles. And every single time when I encountered them, my heart rate just was increasing each time. I didn't know where to go. I was lost. How could I be lost? That's what fear does to you. One of the many things this game does so well with. And what became of the Phazon suit in Metroid Prime is in the flesh. A darker copy of you. Dark Samus. And it enters inside a portal of some kind. No cutscene, no cutscene at all. The game is just luring you into this unknown presence. This dark portal that is just consuming everything in front of it. With no bottom. Like with no end to it. There's another Grenchler carcass. Cardiac arrest due to electrocution. Subject was ensnared in a network of live wires leading from an active power core. This is very recent? There's another one here too. Evidence suggests target was caught in a power cell explosion. Cellular breakdown from radiation exposure present in 72% of target's biomass. Maybe they are not too far from the bog. But at any rate, let's examine this source of the unknown. Unknown dimensional anomaly. Anomaly seems to be a dimensional rift. Target destination unknown. And the build-up just like, okay, the most unbelievable part about the Metroid Prime 2 Echo's presentation is that when you see the Dark Troopers and the dead carcasses and leading to the build-up on like, oh, what is causing all this, you receive answers immediately. Like, it doesn't build up gradually, it's just thrown straight into your face right in an instant. Like, it does not hold back against anything with its story. Like, what in the hell is going on? You're just being transported into a different dimension. And a cutscene follows. Surrounded by dark, spider-like aliens. And Dark Samus absorbing Phazon energy to energize herself. Dark Samus just acts like a freaking bully in this cutscene, just threatening her to, like, not stand up, or else I steal your light. Of course, Samus doesn't even know what that is. And then, oddly enough, Dark Samus just leaves and just, I don't know, has some sort of, like, authority with these creatures. And then everything, the wall just close in. Oh my god. Escape with your life just in time, but losing everything in the process. And you're even more vulnerable in this game. If you would, if that state of vulnerability wasn't extreme enough, this is where it just like punches you straight in the gut, and just threatens you to not stand up from the pain that you endured. Alert! Gear stolen by unknown creatures. Space jump thrusters offline. We still have the charge beam, gravel beam launcher, even though there was no point to use it. Morph ball boost unit. Can't use a morph ball bomb. Power bomb. We didn't even use it. Missile launcher. We're back to square one in Metroid Prime, but it makes so much sense now. We no longer like lose all of our stuff to colliding against a wall back first. I mean, basically just like a state of like pseudo paralysis or something like that. But no, we end up they were stolen by unknown creatures, and how do we get them back? Feels like it feels like this is the end of this is like the end of everything. All we have is our power beam and morph ball. Power beam and morph ball is all we have. We're stuck with the bare minimum. We're stuck with the bare minimum for the rest of the game. And now things are starting to become okay. The full circle is starting to be drawn with the viciously dark presence that this game is like exuding. Telluric alloy, can't destroy that. You can't go through here. Unit is offline. Gate will not move from current position. This is the room where I always got lost in. Probably because I wasn't paying any attention to the map on the corner, but that was all on me. But still, I was just like wandering. I was like walked around in circles, not knowing where I was going, because my sense of direction was very bad when I was young. But jeez. Atmospherically, Metroid Prime 2 Echoes is like a masters of its craft. And I can reiterate this as much as I want and will never get any answers. How the fuck was it actually possible to like get all of this done in 3 months? Like the 3-month deadline to like get this game out. just in time for, you know, the holidays in 2004 or something like that. They managed it. How do they do it? I'll never understand, and I love them for it. Save station, and this is going to be our very first stopping point for right now. So that will have to include the end of this episode of Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, and Metroid Prime Marathon Series, episode number 28 or 27. I don't have time to you know, double check, but yeah. I know that I'm keeping things a little bit. I know I'm you know, being privy with the game's detail and all that, but I'm just like following along with the game's build up. That's all I'm doing. So, yeah. More to uncover in this impossible adventure conjured by Retro Studios and in like over a year, and the deadline. I can't get over this. How is it possible? All this ingenuity? Only God knows. Well, anyway, I'm saying too much. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, and Metroid Prime 2 Echoes and the Metroid Prime Marathon Series, episode number 28. I'm pretty sure it's number 28. Hope to see you again in the next one. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. This is GBA049, signing out, going offline, and see you next mission.